perpetuate the motion which states that urban life is better than rural life. Urban life is a process of building towns and cities or making them large. Example of those urbans are Dar es Salaam, Dodoma, Arusha, Mbeya, also. Is, as we can know, is a helping verb. Then is to introduce the second part of the comparison. Rural life is connected with those countryside or the area which surrounded with their other villages. Example, Ikokoto village and Igoma village and others. Better is the higher standard of or less poor quality, not as a bad in something else. The motion is clear?
Yes.
Have you understand?
Yes.
Okay. You are going to be the opposing side. And Mbeya High School, you are going to be the proposer side, okay?
Yes.
The motion is clear?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Good afternoon, schools. Good afternoon, schools.
Good afternoon.
I, Victor Barnabas, will be the chairperson of this debate session with the motion urban life is better than rural life. Mbeya High School as proposers and Jakaya as opposers. Here in front in the high table there is timekeeper Ahmed Ali, motion mover Gertrude Joy, secretary Florian HGL. The proposers are Filmina Philbert, Owen Kibatala, Prince David, Leila Thremi, Peter Luanga, Timotheo, and Charity Jackson. While the opposers are Maige Sarawa, Kalebo Luinga, Magdalena Henke, Baraka Yelela, Kem Hene, Daniel Mayagila, and Ezekiel Mapepo. So I declare the debate open. I would like to welcome the proposer side for the first point.
Thank you, high table and all majorities. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm here to propose the motion which states that urban life is better than rural life due to the following points. I only have 2 points, but I'll explain them vividly. The first point is that in urban areas there is high rate of employment than rural areas. That's why you can see that many people come from rural areas to urban areas so that they can get employment. And the second point is that in urban areas there are few outdated customs and tradition rather than rural areas, because you can see that in rural areas many people follow outdated customs like beating wives, or you can see female genital mutilation, but when you come in urban areas, those things are outdated. Thank you.
Any question? Question? Contradiction? Yeah, welcome.
Okay. Thank you, high table and the other majority. Good afternoon. I have one question. He says that in urban areas they have high employment compared to rural areas. But my question, why we see most people come from urban, they come to our rurals for finding employment. They employ themselves like in sector like agriculture and the other sectors. So my question is this.
Let me tell you, you can see that also the population in urban areas is high than from rural areas, because many people, you can also see that in rural areas there is no employment there because their only sector is just farming. But you can see here there are many sectors which people can come from there and come here to get the work.
Also in urban areas there, in rural areas there where people come from urban to search for employment, like in agriculture and other sectors.
Yes, but many people come from rural.
Sorry. Continue.
Many people come from rural areas to urban areas. It is so scarcely to see that people come from urban to rural areas because they don't have the life of thinking and how to solve different matters facing in their life.
No. I can oppose this just because also in urban there every people come in your rural for searching the job.
Which jobs?
Like in agriculture.
So do you think all people coming from urban, they all gather themselves?
Time.
And you think all people come from...
Okay, that was Philomena Philbert from the proposal side. I would like to welcome Maige Salawa from the opposite side.
Thank you again. So I remember from opposite side, I come to oppose the motions that say urban life is better than rural life. I can oppose this by using the following points. First point, in urban there is low living cost. In rural there is low living cost. In rural there is low living cost compared to urban, because in the rural areas many things you can get without paying any money. You can compare in urban. In urban everything is sold. For example, when you here we saw everything is sold, but in urban you can get anything without paying any money. So the other point, in rural areas they have high expectancy, they have high rate of expectancy life, just because there is no uses of things that is harmful to human body compared to urban. In urban, many things are harmful because in urban people eat the things from industries that have contained a lot of content that is harmful in their body. So, but people who live in rural, we are eat the natural things, so we have a high life expectancy. The third point. In rural, there have no many negative cultural practice compared to urban. In urban, there is most people who engage in robbers, thieves, just because they have no employment. But in rural, you can see such kind of guys. All people live in a good situation.
Welcome for questions.
Thank you. I've got a simple question to ask you. You say that in urban there is outdated customs and you are talking about robber. Are you saying that robbering is an outdated custom? Is that a custom?
I think you don't understand me. I'm saying that negative cultural practice. I don't say customs. Do you understand?
We are talking about female genital mutilation, wife beating. Then how about you, what you are speaking?
You know that when you...
Listen, compared to where you are staying at rural and urban, you want to say that in urban you are practicing negative cultural practice?
You know that
you tell me that, so you want to tell me that when I will live in rural areas, I will not be robbed, I will not be beaten if I am a wife. That is what you want to say.
When you are talking about culture, we are talking about the total way of life. So robbers and thieves also are the part of life of human being. So don't say robbers And the thieves are not the negative cultural practice, also a negative cultural practice, because culture comprises all life, all total way of life.
Right. Okay, that was Maige Salau from the proposer side. I would like to welcome Owen Kibatala from the proposer side.
Thank you, high table. Thank you, proposer side. Thank you, opposer side, and other majorities. Good afternoon. My name is Oempo Kibatala from high school. I'm here to propose the motion which states that urban life is better than rural life. I'm going to start with my first point, which is in urban area there is good provision of social services like health service, water supply, and electricity supply. As you can see, in urban area is a special area where a lot of people are having a requirement or are required to get their basic need easily. As you can see, as a human being needs food, shelter, and clothes. So when you are living in urban area, it eases you to get those needs you need in your life. Another point is it helps in planning activities. For example, when you are educated enough, it may help you to make different things like surveying activities, researching activities easily, because in urban area you will not use a lot of money in buying those instruments required maybe in surveying activities or research. For example, if you want to make those activities in rural areas, you cannot afford it because the instrument which are used, it uses high cost on, you may use high cost on buying them. Thank you.
Welcome on the side for questions and contributions. Yeah. Welcome.
Okay, I have two questions. Brother, you said that in urban, people they get basic needs easily compared to rural.
Yes, I said so. Because in rural area you cannot afford all needs you want because it uses high cost on buying them. For example, I need maybe rice. As you can see in rural area, it's sold at high cost than in urban area because as you can see, when you come in urban area, it is easy to afford that needs you want. For example, I need a rice to eat.
Okay. Where is rice come from? Or where is rice cultivated?
I said that in order you can afford on buying them easily in urban areas than in rural areas.
No, this is not true because in the rural areas is the source of rice, but in urban, you get rice from rural areas. So in urban the rice is high cost compared to rural. So don't tell us. I don't tell you. Better tell us in urban they have low living cost compared to rural.
Thank you. I want you said first good afternoon majorities. You said you have two questions. Also I have two answers, but for the first answer about social services, it is that in rural it's true that goods are sold in low cost, but you know why they are selling them in low cost? Do you know why?
Yes, I know. I just because those basic needs they come from there.
Not yes. They come from there. It is about poor social services which are given at the rural.
No.
Giving poor social services.
Basic needs in rural are not have high cost because they come from there. And you can know that,
So-
you can tell me that they are poor just because you are living in rural, but you are living in urban, and me I live in rural.
You know that
I know.
clothes,
So you say your rural is not poor.
do you know that clothes is also a basic need? So you need to tell me that clothes are coming from rural.
Okay. When you are talking about basic needs, it is not only clothes, there are even food.
Food, also
Yes.
clothes is a basic need. So when you're talking about food, I will also talk about clothes because
So-
it comes from urban.
Do you
get
know?
me?
Do you know clothes and the food, which is the most basic needs?
So-
Clothes and the food.
So you need to tell me.
Clothes and the food.
So you need to tell me even during Asian time,
you can
people
survive.
didn't want clothes, but they mostly liked food rather than clothes. No, they won't even buy clothes because they know how clothes is important to them.
How you can survive without food? How you can
I
survive
can
without
survive without food because there is also water.
No. But one can survive without clothes, but you can survive without food.
Time is up.
Proposals, maintain your discipline.
Thank you, Mr. On Batala. I would like to welcome the opposite side. Karibu Lwinga.
High majority. High majority. Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you, Secretary. Thank you, Timekeeper and the other majority. I am opposing side. The motion states that urban life is better than rural life. This motion is not true because of the following points. One, rural life or rural areas is a source of raw materials. Example, cotton for clothes and tobacco for cigarette, which enable industry activities to be potential and effective. Second point, rural areas is a area potential for agriculture activities. All agricultural activities, both livestock keeping and the farming activities are derived in rural areas. We see various farmers and the pastoralists they possess agriculture activities, and through that they provide money, food, and the others. Third point, in rural areas, it is more for tourism activities, because you cannot see the national park in the urban areas. Never. You cannot see the swimming pool, swimming pool. Yeah. Also, in rural areas, there is the field. Yes, field. Moral decay, like body wearing style, and the others. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, my fellow Tanzanians. Thank you, the table. Brother, I have a question for you. You say that rural areas are special for raw materials production. Am I clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, sir. What's the point of creating the cotton or manufacturing cotton if that cotton is not going to be processed for the usage?
Cotton is a crop which grows in rural areas.
We all know that. Did you get my question? I asked that. What is cotton for if it's not going to be processed for the usage? For example, the clothes you wear are cotton. They just processed to be made.
There is some clothes which are made from cotton.
Somebody make it clear, please. I'm going to repeat that. Cotton is not going to be worn as it is. Are we there? Yeah. Now it just to be processed to create something new. The area where the cotton gets processed is the industry.
Yes.
You get me? Where the industry is found? Urban or rural? Where did the separation come from? No answers.
Okay. I come to support my friend. And how processed the industry can function without cotton from the rural areas.
Okay, sir. Let me answer you. Is that why should I produce cotton if I know that it's going to be used? So this means that the rural people have to produce cotton for the primal aim that they know that it's going to be processed to make something that is used by the people. So the first motive is the industry, not the cotton.
If there is no cotton, the industry can process the stone. Or
If there are no industries, no reason to produce the cotton for the usage.
do you know, cotton, it is not only to be processed in the industry, but also cotton can taken to be used, for example, as a first aid for the person who is blending and others.
Tell me,
Not only for process.
is that, okay guys, listen, is that cotton just used because it is manufactured from the, is just processed from the industries, or just because the cotton that you use has to be processed chemically to be supported for the first aid? Tell me, are there first aids in rural areas if there are no first aid kits? There must be specialized kits to be used.
No, cotton, it is not to be processed by using chemicals in order to be used as a first aid, but you also can get a pure cotton from the rural areas and you can use it as a first aid.
Then if it is so, why are they taking them to the industries and no first aid kits produced in the rural areas?
Okay, the answer of your question, I can ask you one question.
I beg answers, not answers.
Yes. The process the industry is made for the reason to process the raw material from the rural areas. So the urban can not create the industry when there is no raw material from rurals.
Okay, let me ask you a dependent question, brother. Can you wear cotton or a processed cotton?
No, I'm not a processed cotton, but I am not just because.
Where is the processed cotton obtained? Industry or from the farms?
In the industry.
You heard him right, am I clear?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
The first thing is to grow cotton or to process. Time, yeah.
I would like to welcome Prince David from the proposer side.
Thank you, the table. Thank proposal side. Thank you, the table. Thank proposal side and the proposal side. Good afternoon, majority. I am standing here to propose the motion that states that urban area is better than rural area for the following points. The first point is high technology. I can explain it. High technology. when you say in the rural areas is better than urban area in the sector of agriculture, as here urban area we are producing holes that are used for you to farm. Is that clear? As we are producing holes that you are using in farming, examples of pangas, slashers and the others. Yes. And then in high technology in agriculture is that. And then in high technology here urban areas in a center for education, high technology. Teachers, they are using computer that make the student to understand well. They are using they are using laboratories and the good apparatus that are using for experiment. Is that clear? Somebody with the question? Yes.
Dr. Majority. I want to tackle question from you. My fellow says that urban are faced with technology. How technology obtained without agriculture, without high technology obtained without practice in agricultural activity in rural. Even if they combine the presence of power tiller are used in a rural area. Why we say technology as an urban whole?
In the urban areas, we use high technology that we process the iron and make irons for you to farm. Another question?
Yes, to farm.
Yes.
I say that how technology are practiced practice the agricultural activity in rural.
Can you please repeat your question?
No.
I'll answer it anyway. Look, when we are talking about technology in urban areas, we don't only talk about the things that we use in agriculture, you know. We can also talk about these things that we are using right now.
Yes.
Is this found in rural areas?
Yes, it is found because in rural.
Of course it is found. And who brought it there? It is urban.
No.
It is urban areas. We are the one who invented it and then we gave it to you. Huh?
I say that my question is the first use in agriculture. My fellow.
Okay, it doesn't matter. If you don't practice agriculture, we can also practice it here because there is a new way of practicing agriculture even if you're in urban areas. Understood? So even if you don't practice it, it does not harm us because you can still practice it here.
So I have second question. My fellow say in urban as the presence of laboratories, why in rural also as the presence of laboratory, even if in the rural they have a school, they have a scientific, they have a scientist.
Okay. Let me answer that question. Yes, there is laboratories in rural areas, but they are not so good or more advanced than in urban areas. Because here they invented those laboratories, so it will be better when it started than the one which we brought it.
The laboratory is the laboratory. Is a poor or is a...
The laboratory is always better.
Okay, I remind the next speakers. You have to face that side. Also, you have to maintain time while speaking.
I'd like to welcome Magdalena Mehegeke from the opposers.
Good afternoon, my fellow students. I'm fine. Thank you, Chairperson, Motion Mover, and other majority in that floor. I'm here is a member from opposite side. I come here to disagree a motion which states that urban life is better than rural life. I oppose by using the following points. First, in urban there is low pollution of environment, because in rural there is low pollution of environment because there is no people that invest in rural for different activities, right? No people that invest in rural in industry like quarries that produce noise pollution. Set point, people that live in rural live in freedom because there is low number of robbers, thieves, gang, and other bad groups that cause people to live in fear and in insecurity. Thank you.
Thank you, High Table. Okay, you have said that in rural areas there is no investment, right? Do you know why in rural areas there is no investment? Because you are poor. That's why urban life is better than rural life. The second thing, you have said that there is no pollution. But I know in rural areas most people cook by using firewoods and charcoal that produce smoke. And you are talking about no pollution. Which pollution are you talking about?
Noise pollution, there is no machine in urban, there is no machine in rural.
There is no machine because there is low technology. That's why urban is better, because we have high technology.
Also in rural, in urban, there is poor waste disposal. For example, when we come at here, we cross at Kabwe, we see there is very dirty place that is found in urban and not in rural. So,
when you talk about pollution, just generalize. We have got air pollution, water pollution, and some sort of pollution. About air pollution, we are talking about the cooking of using firewood. How can you explain that?
Also, here, also in Kabwe, if that waste become in large amounts, cause pollution.
It means the whole urban, only Kabwe is state, so the whole area is clean, right?
So, Kabwe is rural or urban area?
Kabwe is urban, and it's the only dirty place. All urban is clean, but in rural areas you have got a lot of pollution.
Also, Uyore.
How sure are you? Can we go to Uyole this time?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You're talking about urban, right?
Yes.
Okay, we've got something. Let me tell you something here. You know, in urban we have got advancement of technology and we have got good infrastructure facilities. Our roads are always clean. That's why we have quick transporting of people and animals from one place to another. How about rural areas?
I do not discuss about good transportation system, but I discuss about bad appearance of environment.
Also, in rural areas, I also discuss about the air pollution made by smoking, by cooking the firewoods and charcoal.
What things use urban people in cooking?
They use firewood and charcoal.
So,
this make them expel their air, and you get air pollution. Also, you get respiratory problems. You know, smoke causes respiratory problems. They fail to breathe well because there is no fresh air. Do you know that?
Right. I want to answer.
Hey, you, come here. to answer you about the air pollution. In urban life, you can see many industries. In the industry, it produces many pollution. Even though you can see from here, when you go at the toilet from there, you can see poor waste disposal are conducting it. Why?
You are talking about
pollution.
Yes. That's air pollution from the industries. Like industry do not work by 24 hours. They are rarely that's work for 24 hours. But you cook 24 hours in rural areas. You cook in the morning, you cook in the afternoon, you cook in the evening. That's because your respiratory surface to get blocked because of pollution from the smoke.
You don't compare the pollution in the rural life and the urban life.
Now,
urban life is more pollution.
Now you stay with the smoke inside your house because you used to cook it always. Now we stay far from industries. Do you get that?
You can see in the urban life, all people they cooking by using.
Sorry, boy, I need to speak to you. You spoke about toilet. You spoke about toilet, but you mean that we are polluting our toilets. But it is better than we use toilet than you who you use forest. You know that? I say, you said that our toilets we have pollute our toilets.
Toilet. We can conducting poor waste disposal is there. Why? They can burning the waste. Poor. Why?
Okay, I need to answer.
Very well. I'd like to welcome the proposer side, Neema Jafari.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you, proposer side, opposer side, and majorities. Okay, I'm here to propose the motion that states that urban life is better than rural life due to the following points. First of all, the life in urban contributes to the emancipation of women. By saying that, I mean the increase of sexual violence to women has decreased in urban more than in rural areas. Also, in urbans, we have got good infrastructural facilities that help in good transportation from one place to another. It also contributes to the improvement of trades because the transportation of goods from one place to another is efficient through time. It works up with the good facilities of roads.
Good afternoon once again. I want to clash the point of my young girl who was saying, good infrastructure and easy to transport. There are many traffic jams in this road. So how you can transport easy? Why? How?
Point of correction, I'm not a young girl.
Yes.
Okay, can you repeat your question?
My question is about infrastructures. You say good infrastructure. Do you ever see in the rural life there are poor infrastructure? And you can tell me, you ever see where you ever see in the rural life there are poor infrastructure? You can tell me.
Yes, I can tell you.
Tell me.
Before I tell you, do you know why many lives of people... Okay. Do you know why many people lost their life when they are sick in rurals? It's because there is poor infrastructures of roads to take them to the hospitals in urban.
Yes.
My friend, this is a good infrastructure. They are poor infrastructure, or it's not a good infrastructure. How you can say this?
When we talk about infrastructures, first of all, do you know what is infrastructure?
Yes.
Okay. Infrastructures is a general name of all those good social services, for example, roads, hospitals, and education sectors. Have you got me? And the question to you, why those people who got sick in rural areas come in urban to be treated if you have good infrastructures in your village more than in urban?
Me, I'm asking you, do you ever see the rural life, the poor infrastructure? You can tell me. You ever see?
Yes, I'm sure 100%. The infrastructures of rural areas compared to urban is more poor.
Today me I'm coming from Mswisu to here. I see the poor infrastructure and it is difficult to transport from Mswisu to here because of many traffic jams. How you can say it is easy to transport?
You come from Swiss, right? Yeah. Have you gone there in town? Have you gone to Mafiati? Do you know that there is good infrastructure there?
You say in the urban life there are good infrastructure. So I want to know, this is a good infrastructure or poor? This is a poor infrastructure, or is not a good infrastructure? Was a poor because when I coming at this, I see many collision in the car because of poor infrastructure. How you can say it was a good infrastructure? You can tell me.
Adam, next time.
I remind you once more, if you are not chosen, you are not supposed to come here. Is that clear? I would like to welcome the opposite side, Baraka Yelela.
Thank you, Aitebu. Proposer side and the opposer side. Good afternoon. All right. I come here to oppose this motion stating that urban life is better than rural life. I oppose this motion by the following point. First point, rural life, it helps us to conserve. It helps us to conserve and to preserve our local culture. When I say our local culture, it means, for example, in the dressing style, traditional dancer, foodie, and so many. Second point, rural area, it has a safe and security to compare the urban area. That because in the rural area, most of people are living in a peaceful means to compare the urban area. Because in the urban area, because in the rural area, they have no police that ensure security. This is due to security and the full stability. So the third point, rural area is a source of labor force. When I say it's a source of labor force, for example, if we see many people in Dar es Salaam get a labor from the rural, that because in the rural they have a person who was as strong like me. Also, in the rural area is a source of getting a mining to compare the urban. That because in the urban they have no space which conduct that mining activity. In the rural they have open space which contain a mineral and some fossil fuel. For example, in the rural, for example, in the Gazabe, thank you.
One question from the proposer side. Vanessa.
Thank you. I was having two questions because it said one. Let me give you an easy question. You say that in rural area you are preserving the tradition, isn't it? Let me ask you, do you know the national tradition was performed where this year? Do you know where it was performed the last time? It was in Dar es Salaam. Dar es Salaam is it urban area or a rural area? They were preserving it because we are still in urban, we are still preserving it, and that's what we are doing in urban, and not we are going there to rural.
You say the last in the cultural practice in Dar es Salaam, that is the presence of globalization.
Do you see? That means that there in rural, you are so poor in technological. That's why even in preserving the tradition, it's not performed there in rural. The practice.
Thank you, High Table. Thank you, opposers and proposers. Good afternoon, majority. I'm gonna support the point. Basically on educational wise. In urban life, we get more technological education. For example, here at school, we have computers, and we also have the internet. Yes, we have sports, we have games, we have transport facilities which help students to come here to school, yeah, without any problem. Another thing is that urban life makes us to be exposed to many skills. Yeah, like for example, a person living in urban life, he or she can learn how to farm. He or she can learn on how to use maybe a computer. He or she can learn on how to drive a car. He or she will learn on how to ride a motorbike. So different things make a person ready to be specialized into a certain career. Have you understand me? Any question? Yes.
Okay. First of all, your point is repeated. So I have one question. You say that in the urban level, high technology compared to rural. For example, school laboratory, they have a high education system. Do you want to tell us as a student, who we come from the rural? We have not a laboratory in our school. We have not a computer in our school. Just because school laboratory computers all are built by the government of Tanzania, all rural and urban, as a people of the government of Tanzania. So the technology which are used in your school and the technology which are used in your school is the same. It is equal.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe you are right, but let me ask you something. Do you have more teachers who have more experience in those things?
Yes, let me answer you. Yes, we have more people that in such things, just because all teachers are trained to be in profession of such things. So don't tell us urban teachers are better than rural areas. That is no saying like that. Do you have any question?
Okay, so you say that there are many teachers who are specialized as same as rural and urban, but I say no. In urban there are more, because this is where many people are getting education from. So because this is the source of it, the source will have many than where they will be provided to. I think you understood me, right?
No, I can't understand you just because you not know the teacher from rural and me I not know the teacher from urban. Don't tell our teacher are not better compared to your teacher just because our teacher have never teach you. Don't.
And I say that do not compare our teachers with yours because they have never taught you. So do you agree? Any more question?
I have more. I have another question. Just 1 minute.
Now it's time for the opposite side. I'd like to welcome Ezekiel Mapepo.
Good afternoon, school. Thank you, Chairperson, Secretary, Timekeeper, and the other majority. I'm here to opposing side. State motion says that urban life is better than rural life. I have 3 points. The first point is the few number of street children. Family of street children are found in urban area because many people are not employed in urban. But but in the rural life, the basic workers, not basic workers. I'm repeating the point. The point is about the few number of street children. Family of street children are found in urban life because street children is a common phenomenon in the urban area because many people are not employed, and is a main employment in rural life is the agricultural activity and the livestock keeping. In rural life, all people they can employ his or herself. So they are not the street children because all people they can employ. But in the rural life, it needs employers in order to employ. Second point is about the low effect of globalization. Low effect of globalization because in town many people are using smartphone in order to conduct a trade from one place to another. In the rural life, there are few number of people using smartphone. So globalization can affect in urban area in more compared to rural area. Thank you. Question.
Okay, thank you, the high table and other majorities. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I have a question for you, my brother. You have said that in rural areas there are few people who are using smartphone, isn't it? So don't you think that it is because of poverty and because of poor technology, that's why you're not using smartphones?
Do you understand my point? I say in urban life there is a high effect of globalization compared to the rural life. Don't poverty in the rural.
Point of correction, it is not you say, it is I say, isn't it? Okay, let's continue. You have said that, but I'm referring to a point, you talk about smartphones, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for you. Don't you think that it is because of poverty, that's why most people in rural areas are not using smartphones?
In urban life, we use smartphone in order to conduct. Smartphone is a basic important in the trade activity because traders use the smartphone to announce their trade from one place to another. But the main activity in the rural life.
Okay, silence please. Okay, we've got 5 speakers from the proposer's side and 5 speakers from the opposite side. Because of time, we're gonna make this end. So, I would like to welcome the grammarian.
Good afternoon, my first students.
Good afternoon.
I'm here to correct about some few voice. First of all, thank you for your participation in this debate. Okay. First of all, thank you for your participation in this debate, both from opposer and proposer side. I'm here to correct about some few errors when people were talking. They appeared. Okay. First of all, there is. I'm starting from opposer side. Magdalena. She said that her using of the. She said that when we come at here, instead when we come here, in Kabwe instead of at Kabwe, bad appearance of environment instead of poor condition of environment. Ezekia Mapepo. Sorry. When I'm saying this, try to correct yourself on where you made a fault so that you can correct it and be good in the later debate. Okay? In the industry, instead of in the industry, they can ban in the worst thing. Of people in urban areas who have poor waste disposal. Yes, there is numerous terms of use of ing. He even use ing in the place where it doesn't have a meaning. Okay, he said that that they can ban in the worst thing, transfer easy instead of transport easy, infrastructure instead of infrastructure. Me, I'm asking you. Okay, and another he said collision in the car instead of accident, of car accidents. He said collision in the car instead of using car accidents. Baraka Helela, he said that traditional dancer instead of traditional dancing. He repeated that several times. In rural, it has a safe instead of there is surfeit in rural areas. Maige Salawa said that my questions instead of my question. And said motion that say instead of motion that states. Content which are harmful instead of contaminants. Engage instead of engage. Robber instead of robbery. Culture complies all life instead of culture comprises all the way of living of somebody. Cat instead of Kate instead of cat. Okay, now is in from proposer side. Vanessa she said robber instead of robbery. And Peter said I'm gonna start instead of I'm going to start. Also, I don't know the actual name of that person that said, but he said that rural is a source of rice. Instead of in rural areas where rice is cultivated. You can't say rural is a source of rice. How? Christian from proposer side, he said yeah instead of yes. You just saying more. Yeah. You have to say yes. Go now instead of going to. Are we there instead of are you there? That is for Christian. Okay. Pronunciation from opposite side. You say that inabo instead of inabo. Area instead of area. You say area. Don't use that H. Area. That's for my guess. And the pastoralist instead of pastoralist. Okay, and another thing is scientific instead of scientist. To disagree. Somebody say, I want to disagree with you. Instead of saying, I want to oppose you. That comes from Magdalena.
Sir, do you know what? Don't shoot me, please. Sir.
Somebody with question.
Yes, sir, shoot
when
me.
people is supposed to say somebody who have question. Say somebody with question.
Don't tell me.
Okay,
Sir,
the last one was from Ezekia Mapepo again. You said 3 points. Why point is in plural form? You said 3 points instead of saying 3 points. Basic workers instead of basic needs. People, they can employ his or herself instead people can employ themselves. Don't poverty in the rural. And the last one was basic importance. Thank you from proposer side and opposer side. Another time you
have to make, when you are speaking English, try, oh, sorry. Another time when you come here in debate, just try to make more practices on speaking English. You know that when you are speaking English several times, even if when you are here, you are creating that idea on your mind to speak English, so that in another time your tongue will speak English very well instead of speaking broken English. Thank you, proposal side and opposite side. You are welcome again.
Good afternoon, my fellow pupils. These were some, my fellow students, sorry. These were some discipline mistakes. The first thing was wearing clothes from the opposite sides. They just fold one of the leg of the trouser, then the other one is not fold. And then the other thing is making more noise from the both of opposers and proposer sides. The other thing was touching your body parts while speaking. The other thing was using of bullying language. Using of bullying language was mostly used in opposite sides because one of the brothers there said, "My young girl," instead of. And the other mistake was the opposite sides did not obey the timekeeper when said that time is over. The other thing was poor standing posture. From the opposite side there, our brother was standing while putting his clothes here up of the head. And the other thing was putting the hands in the pocket. Well, we see there our sister was putting hands in the pocket while speaking here. Thank you.
Go ahead, please. Okay. For the debate competitions, we have tied. We all have 20 points. So, congrats to all proposers of the main speakers and main speakers of the opposers. It's a tie, 20-20 points.